Off to the next city. We're going to Nuremberg. We arrived in Nuremberg. Time to check out the city. All right, we are in the old town. That's a big dude. One day to check out the entire city. We'll check out the top sites, and then we'll check out the Christmas market, and we'll get some good food and stuff. And then tomorrow it's back home, unfortunately. All right, let's get ready. U-Bahn. We're going to take the subway to the different sites. So the tours that we saw are crazy expensive here. They're like $200 each for like a 4-hour tour. It's actually ridiculous. And I don't think you need it because there's only 3 main sites to go to here. And you can, I think, get to all of them with the subways. So let's check out getting to these places with the subway. Day ticket. All-day ticket solo. Please enter your first name. Oh my God. I'm going to just put Donald Duck. They want my full name. And they won't tell me the price until after I enter my full name. Jesus, I had to re-enter my name like freaking 5 times. So that train was pretty funny. If you look at the front, it says Fahrschule, and Fahrschule means driving school. So I guess the guy's learning how to drive the train. It's something I always wanted to do as a kid, but I went into accounting instead. Okay, just got out of the train station. We're only a few stops away, and this sign over here says Justice Palace. So that's pretty easy. This is where we're going. This is the Palace of Justice, where the Nuremberg Trials were held. Okay, that was not the entrance. And the guy, like when I walked in, he was smiling because he knows we're tourists. I'm not wearing a suit. That was like the actual Hall of Justice with court proceedings and stuff. So you want to go around the corner. If you see this sign, you know you're in the right spot. Here it says the memorial for the Nuremberg Trials.
In August 1945, Americans requisitioned the Palace of Justice and refurbished this room, called Courtroom 600, for the trial of the main war criminals. Make sure when you're here you pick up an audio guide. It'll describe the room. For example, if you look to the left, you can see the main entrance. It has a Medusa head above the door. Above that, you can see a figure of Eve handing Adam an apple from the tree of knowledge. This room is a little different than it was during the trials. The indicted sat in 2 rows, which accommodated 22 people. Overall, there were 24 defendants, 12 of whom were sentenced to death. 7 were sent to the Spandau prison in Berlin, and the rest were acquitted or no decision was made. Those that were sentenced to death were executed behind the Hall of Justice in the Nuremberg prison. That building was demolished in 1983. There's a lot of information in this museum. They go into details about the crimes each defendant was charged with, the defense posed by their lawyers, and how they lived in prison while awaiting their fates. The museum continues with detail about how the trials were set up and conducted, by whom, and they also give a lot of information about Robert H. Jackson, who was the chief prosecutor. All in all, it was a very good museum with an incredible amount of detail. It's a must visit in Nuremberg, so make sure you set aside a few hours to get the most out of the tour.
Okay, all done. Now we're going to head to the next site, the Zeppelinfeld, which is on the other side of town. So let's jump on the train. But also, we want to grab lunch. Let's grab lunch. So we found a little cute little pizza place that's right down the street from the Palace of Justice. And I like European pizza. Dude, they delivered that food fast. That looks like a pretty good chicken salad. That was only €8, and it comes with the bread. Now check out this pizza. This is a pretty big pizza for an individual pizza for €9.99. Got a Fanta. Fanta in Europe is so much better. All right, that was pretty good. I mean, I've had better pizza in Europe and Germany, but it's still good, and it was filling. It was actually pretty heavy. I couldn't finish the crust, and it was a huge pizza. All right, see you, Esteban. Good travels. I think we're at the right spot. The Navi is going a little weird, jumping all over the place, but I mean, if any place is going to be right, it's this one. Let's get some exercise. See all these old overgrown grass sort of seats and stuff around the outside of this stadium. See all the stonework? So this is the Zeppelin field, or Zeppelinfeld. So this was the Zeppelin grandstand between 34 and 38. This is interesting here. They want to preserve it, but they have to also make sure that water and plants don't get underneath the steps, because then they'll push upward. But you can see here in these steps, you see the plants kind of coming through already. This wouldn't last a long time if they didn't intervene. You are standing on a concrete ceiling. I wonder what's downstairs. Imagine just hanging out here in the 30s and seeing a huge 1,000-foot long Zeppelin landing in the field. Let's go see the rest of the building. See this large wrought iron door here? That's got to be at least 12 feet tall. Here's the east side with the steps. And then here's the main building in the center. And here's the west side. And that's it. That's pretty much the field. It's just interesting how big it is. And it's just steps and a platform. Here's that same wrought iron door. So this right here is the top of my head, 5'10". So that's how big it is. And of course people graffiti it. You guys, nobody gives a shit about anything anymore in this world. They want to preserve history, they just want to erase it. Even if it's bad history, you should preserve it as a reminder of all the evil things that humans are capable of. Alright, I guess that's it. And it's about 1 p.m., so I think we have time. We still got a little bit more to do. Here's a bigger aerial photo. You can see that we're down here at the stands at the Zeppelin field. And so here's what it looks like right now. This is the current state. Here's the target state. And you can see that they're showing you all the arrows of where you can go in the future. That's something you may want to consider if you're planning a trip to Nuremberg, to look at where they are in their construction and renovation. And maybe wait a little bit until you can go into the towers. So these are all towers here that are attached to the side of the field. They go all the way around the field, and they want to open those up in the future. So let's see if we can get in a little bit closer. So this gate's open. You can go up these stairs to see the field. We already saw that from the main stands. And then you have all these towers. So each one had a different purpose, I guess, which is interesting. I'm not sure if that was for defense or administration. But there's the door, and then when they finish renovating, you'll be able to go inside. And I would probably say there's like 30 or 40 of these that go all the way around the field. This Zeppelin you see here, it's actually from 1909. So it was just an open field then. And then in 1933 to 45, they built it up. Taking a break, sitting on this wet bench, put my jacket down. But I wanted to just enjoy some time by this lake. It's probably a man-made lake. And here you go, and then back there's the Congress Hall, which is a absolutely massive building. The sun's coming out now, which is nice because it was raining. And there's a little rainbow over there telling us everything's going to be okay. The Zeppelin field is the Nazi parade grounds, so I thought there'd be more to it. I thought there would be a little bit more preserved, like the columns and more of the stands. Most of it, if you look at historical pictures, people were all standing, and they were just standing in the field. Große Straße is the great street that was never completed. It's 60 meters wide, and it was supposed to be 2,000 meters long. Here's all the granite slabs. There you go. It's supposed to be aligned with the old city. We're at the Congress Hall now. Pretty massive building.
This is the front of the Congress Hall, and it's interesting because this side's all brick facade, and then back here you have the stone facade. And here's the ticket booth, so you can probably do a tour if you make your way out here. It's a lot of walking. And then the Nuremberg Symphoniker, so it looks like there's the Nuremberg Symphony is here. And that's the case, and that's pretty cool. Okay, so you can buy tickets to get into the Congress Hall and the Documentation Center, and the tickets will include a tour of the building along with details of the construction and its history. But we didn't really have a lot of time for the tour, but if you want, you can walk right into the Congress Center itself by going to the side. It's a huge place, and it was modeled off the Colosseum in Rome. It was started in 1935, but it was never finished. So it was supposed to actually have a roof overhead and seating for 50,000 people, which is pretty crazy. Definitely stop by and check out this massive building. After the Congress Hall, we ended up walking a few hundred meters north to the Luitpoldhain, which means Luitpold Grove. That's the park to the north of the Congress Center. And here you can find the Ehrenhalle, which is the Hall of Honor. Hitler actually turned this into a deployment area called the Luitpold Arena. So if you see some of the infamous rallies in old photos that had probably about 150,000 people in it, those rallies were held here. And all the buildings that were used during the rallies were actually destroyed, and the place was turned back into a park in 1945. But the Hall of Honor, or Ehrenhalle, was actually built in 1930 before Hitler's reign, so it was kept intact. Interestingly enough, it was built as a memorial to the fallen soldiers of World War I. If you come here, you can see the fire bowls that were built to be lit in honor of the soldiers, but they actually haven't been ignited since the last Nazi Party rally in 1938. Okay, just got back. We're going to show you, come on, open, the apartment. This room cost us, it's a 2-bedroom apartment, and it's a great location. It's the cheapest one in this neighborhood. It's called Lawrence Apartments, and I think it's $500 for 2 nights during the week. So it's $125 per person, or you can probably get 4 people in here, so 2 couples. Now you're down to like, $62.50 per person, so that's pretty good. Anyway, I love the location. And there's a lot of great stores downstairs. There's a pretzel place, there's a bread place, there's sweets and stuff. Again, we didn't have a lot of time, so if you're only spending a day in Nuremberg, you will be pressed for time. You don't want to miss the castle. Nuremberg Castle is only a 7-minute walk from the Old Town Center and the Frauenkirche, so make sure you set aside enough time if you want to go inside and get a tour. There's also a lot of great restaurants around here. So you may want to take an extra day in Nuremberg to make sure you can take everything in stride. Now, Nuremberg Castle is considered one of Europe's most formidable medieval fortifications. It's got 3 sections. There's the Imperial Castle, the former Burgrave's Castle, and the eastern buildings of the Imperial City. The original building was constructed around the year 1000 AD. A castle was then built by Holy Roman Emperors between 1027 and 1125. A new castle was built under the Hohenstaufen Emperors between 1138 and 1254. And finally, the palace was reconstructed and other additions were made in the late medieval centuries. Unfortunately, during the Allied raids of World War II, the castle was almost completely destroyed, and it took over 30 years to return it to its original state. So this is a can't miss if you ever come to Nuremberg. All right, jumping out of the apartment and ready to jump into the Christmas market. Let's check out this cathedral, this church here. See how different it is? So in Poland, most of the churches we saw were made out of brick, and this one's made out of stone, so it's pretty interesting seeing the difference in the architecture. Holy crap, look at all this Mediterranean food. Olives by the pound. Here we got the gingerbread hearts, which we had in Dresden. So the Nuremberg Christmas Market is one of the oldest and most popular or famous Christmas markets in the entire world. I read online that this one's the best, and then somebody else said Dresden's the best. So we're going to both, and we're going to compare the two. Schokokusse, oh my god, I love these things. I'm a whiskey. I got a Schokokuss. Growing up, it was one of my favorite snacks of all time because it's basically like a chocolate-covered marshmallow over a wafer, and this is the one I got. And because I love whiskey, I got the whiskey one. Do as the Germans. Well, it's not too bad. The whiskey taste isn't too strong. It was really good. If you like marshmallows and chocolate, these are really, really good.
cool. There's like 4 or 5 trains going on there. You feel like I'm a kid again. Sardines, herring, lox, and matjes. Got my German filet of fish. This is called Fischbürtchen, fish roll. It's dripping all over the place. Really, really good. Nice and crunchy. That's the one with sardines. If you like sardines, get the sardines. It comes with onions on it. All right, this is the main square and the main Christmas market. And I'm trying to figure out if that's the town hall. I think it's a church. You can see it in more of its glory. We'll get a picture of that. That's a cute cup. Okay, found a new Pilsner at this great restaurant overlooking the Christmas market. Anyways, last beer of the evening. I have to try the red or amber ale. Found it here in Nuremberg. I'm hoping they do it right. So cheers to you guys. Whoa. It's I don't think it is an amber. If you translate it, it's red beer. It's got a very sweet taste to it. Not bad. I say that about most beers, not bad. Okay, how about good? It's good. So I would definitely try it if you were in Nuremberg. Yeah, nice and flavorful. Check out this waffle for €4. We got one last mission to find Lebkuchen. Lebkuchen is gingerbread. I wanted to get fresh baked Lebkuchen, which I now can't get because the shops that sell them are closed. They close at 7 p.m., so I screwed up. And now I'm not going to get the fresh baked Lebkuchen, which is disappointing. Don't make that mistake if you ever come here. Get out early. What I'm looking for is more specialty Lebkuchen, like the flavored ones. And I've seen a few when we were walking around. Okay. Nehme ich ein von diese. Jawohl. Und dann einmal das Eierlikör und Karamell. Yeah, that was easy. Pretty excited about that. He was nice. I got one variety pack for the family without alcohol, and then the other 2 with liquor for myself. So I'm gonna do a little taste test. Maybe I can get some Glühwein. I got my drink. This is farewell. It's a cute glass, cute cup. It's good stuff. Definitely try it. Even if you don't like wine, I mean, you gotta try it, when you're in Germany. Don't be shy and be like, oh, I don't like wine or whatever. Just try it, because that's the thing to do. When in town, do as the locals do. Anyways, this is my farewell drink. It's my last sip, but just wanted to say cheers one last time from Nuremberg. Woo! I'll sleep like a baby tonight.